Comedy classics are often praised for their sharp writing and impeccable timing, but what if the moments that made us laugh the hardest were never meant to happen at all? What if the magic wasn't planned, rehearsed, or polished, but stumbled into existence through accidents, mistakes, and pure chaos? That's exactly what happened with Young Frankenstein. Shot in black and white, as a loving parody of classic horror films, it became something far greater than anyone expected. Behind the carefully crafted jokes and iconic performances lies a hidden history of bloopers, slip-ups, and improvisations that somehow made the movie even funnier. Props vanished, wigs slipped, actors broke character, and laughter took over entire scenes. And somewhere among all that chaos, one unedited photo was captured. A moment so genuine, so uncontrollably funny, that it still fascinates fans decades later. So, how did mistakes turn into comedy gold? Let's dive into the unforgettable bloopers that helped shape one of the greatest comedies of all time. Number 20. The iconic bag scene blooper. One of the most beloved moments in Young Frankenstein begins as simply as possible. An arrival at the castle. Dr. Frederick Frankenstein politely asks Igor to help with the luggage. Straightforward, harmless, nothing that should derail a scene. But Marty Feldman had other plans. Instead of sticking to the script, Feldman casually tossed out an unscripted line, "You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the turban." The delivery was so sudden and so perfectly timed that it blindsided everyone. Terry Garr nearly lost it on the spot, while Gene Wilder visibly struggled to keep his composure. What made the moment even better was Feldman's commitment. Take after take, he kept sneaking the line back in, sometimes changing the rhythm, sometimes altering the emphasis, ensuring the cast never quite adjusted. Each time, Wilder's barely contained laughter made the moment even funnier. Mel Brooks recognized lightning when he saw it. Instead of cutting the scene, he preserved it. What started as a playful improvisation became one of the most quoted moments in the entire film, proving that sometimes the best comedy comes from ignoring the script altogether. Number 19. The hump that wouldn't stay put. Igor's hump is one of those visual gags that feels too perfect to be accidental, but that's exactly what it was. Early during filming, Marty Feldman decided to quietly move Igor's hump from one shoulder to the other between takes, just to see if anyone noticed. At first, nobody did, but eventually Gene Wilder caught on. And once he did, keeping a straight face became nearly impossible. Feldman continued the prank throughout filming, switching the hump's position whenever the camera rolled. What started as mischief soon became a running joke, one that Mel Brooks ultimately embraced rather than corrected. Audiences later assumed it was a cleverly written gag. In reality, it was pure improvisation, an actor entertaining himself on set, unknowingly creating one of the film's most enduring visual jokes. Number 18. The vanishing candlestick. Sometimes comedy isn't born from performance, it sneaks in through editing mistakes. In one atmospheric scene, Dr. Frankenstein and Inga move through secret passageways, holding a candle meant to heighten tension. But attentive viewers notice something strange. The candlestick suddenly disappears between shots. This wasn't intentional. It was simple continuity chaos. Props misplaced, shots edited together too quickly. But instead of ruining the illusion, the error fits perfectly into the parody. The sudden disappearance feels like a wink at the very horror films Young Frankenstein is spoofing. Rather than reshooting, the mistake was left untouched, accidentally reinforcing the film's playful tone. It became one of those details fans love pointing out, not because it's sloppy, but because it somehow works. Number 17, sedative. Few lines in the film are as iconic as Igor's bizarre pronunciation of sedative. What many fans don't realize is that the line was never supposed to sound that way. In the heat of filming, Marty Feldman twisted the word into sedative. Wide-eyed, confused, and utterly ridiculous, Gene Wilder was caught completely off guard. His reaction, barely suppressed laughter behind a stern expression, was entirely real. Instead of calling for another take, Mel Brooks let it roll. The authenticity of the moment made it unforgettable. What began as a verbal slip became one of the most quoted lines in the movie, perfectly capturing the unpredictable chemistry between Wilder and Feldman. Number 16, Inga's slip in the hay. The playful roll in the hay scene was meant to highlight Inga's innocence and boundless energy. But while bouncing around the hay wagon, Terry Garr slipped slightly, throwing off her timing. Rather than breaking character, she incorporated the stumbles seamlessly, turning it into part of the performance. The moment felt natural, charming, and completely in character. Mel Brooks loved it. The tiny accident added authenticity and warmth, making Inga feel more human and even more lovable. What could have ruined a take instead enhanced the scene? Number 15, Puttin' on the Ritz chaos. The Puttin' on the Ritz number nearly didn't exist. Mel Brooks initially thought the idea was too absurd, but Gene Wilder insisted. Once filming began, chaos took over. Peter Boyle struggled with timing, growled lines at the wrong moments, and unintentionally cracked up the cast. Wilder repeatedly failed to keep a straight face as Boyle belted out lyrics in a booming, off-key voice. The set dissolved into laughter again and again, stretching production far longer than planned. But that disorder is exactly what made the scene legendary. What nearly got cut became one of the most iconic moments in comedy history. Number 14, The Door That Wouldn't Close. Sometimes the set itself joins the comedy. During a laboratory scene, a heavy wooden door jammed halfway as Gene Wilder attempted to close it. Instead of stopping, Wilder leaned into the mishap, expressing exaggerated frustration without breaking character. The malfunction felt intentional, as if even the environment was conspiring against Frankenstein. Mel Brooks loved how naturally the error blended into the humor and kept the take. Number 13, Follow Me, Please. In a scene meant to be serious, Marty Feldman casually added an unscripted line, Follow me, please. Delivered with an exaggerated bow, it caught everyone off guard. Gene Wilder's twitching lips betray his internal battle to stay composed. Brooks let the camera roll, capturing another spontaneous gem that added depth to Igor's unpredictable personality. Number 12, The Horse Sound Effect. Every time Frau Blücher's name is spoken, horses scream in terror. It's one of the film's most memorable gags, and it began as a sound mistake. A mistimed sound cue triggered the horse neigh early, causing immediate laughter on set. Instead of discarding it, Mel Brooks expanded the gag, making it louder and more frequent. What started as an error evolved into one of the film's greatest running jokes. Number 11, The Speed of Light Question. In the middle of chaos, Elizabeth asks Frederick an oddly intellectual question. Exactly how fast is the speed of light? As Wilder delivers the scientific answer, Feldman creates background mayhem, testing Wilder's ability to stay in character. The tension between seriousness and absurdity gives the scene its charm, and Brooks kept it precisely because it felt real. Number 10, The Slipping Wig. During the intense operating table scene, Peter Boyle's monster wig began to slide under the hot lights. Wilder and Garr noticed mid-shot and nearly lost it. Boyle continued without pause, turning the potential disaster into accidental comedy. Brooks loved the imperfection and kept it in the final cut. Number 9, The Spontaneous Howl. In an otherwise eerie moment, Marty Feldman suddenly let out a dramatic wolf howl, completely unscripted. The tension shattered instantly. Laughter erupted, forcing retakes. Brooks encouraged Feldman to keep improvising, understanding that unpredictability was the film's secret weapon. Number 8, Elizabeth's Wig Incident. Madeline Kahn's elaborate wig began sliding during a melodramatic scene. Instead of stopping, she exaggerated her movements, turning the malfunction into part of Elizabeth's flamboyant personality. The result was comedic perfection born from a near disaster. Number 7, The Coffee Cup Continuity Error. A coffee cup appears, disappears, and switches hands between cuts. Rather than fix it, the error was left intact, fitting perfectly with the film's parody of sloppy horror classics. Number 6, The Monsters' Dinner Scene. Peter Boyle accidentally knocked over a prop during the dinner scene. Gene Wilder improvised a line to cover it, turning the mishap into character-driven comedy. Number 5, the stubborn fake leg. A prop leg refused to budge during a grave-robbing scene. Marty Feldman exaggerated the struggle, transforming a malfunction into slapstick gold. Number 4, the lightning failure. Instead of dramatic sparks, the lightning rig fizzled weakly. The anticlimax sent the cast into laughter, and Brooks later leaned into the failed science humor. Number 3, the shaking elevator. The laboratory elevator began wobbling unexpectedly. Terry Garr's real scream added authenticity, while Wilder and Feldman stayed in character. Number 2, uncontrollable laughing fits. Behind the scenes, laughter constantly derailed filming. Brooks and Wilder admitted scenes often took twice as long due to nonstop breaking. Rather than fight it, Brooks embraced it, believing laughter was proof they were doing something right. Number 1, the photo that was never edited. One photograph captures Gene Wilder doubled over in genuine laughter beside Marty Feldman. It wasn't staged. It wasn't planned. It was chaos frozen in time. That image perfectly represents Young Frankenstein, a film built not just on jokes, but on joy, spontaneity, and accidents that became art.